At the end of 1978, from the Trocadéro in Paris, 170 contestants depart for this very first Dakar. Only 74 will manage to reach the finish line at the Rose Lake in Dakar. If technology and logistics have evolved since then, the spirit remains the same. We take a look at the very first Dakar rally. On December 26, 1978, Thierry Sabine sees his dream of enabling the public to discover the African scenery finally come true. The first Dakar race begins in Paris from the Trocadéro. 170 contestants, 90 of which are bikers, are involved in this new race, a blend of adventure, dream and competition. For this very first Dakar, these pioneers can only imagine what it means travelling through Africa, over 10,000 kilometres across Algeria, Niger, Mali, Upper Volta and finally Senegal. At the time, the adventurous aspect of the race is the main attraction for the drivers. Philippe Jambert and his leather boots, on board his BMW R65, looks more like a tourist than a racer. Ah, the sand. I'll never get used to it. I hate the sand. Unable to cope with the fast pace of the motorbikes, Jambert struggles day after day, but nevertheless becomes an icon of the Dakar. Unfortunately, he'll be forced to retire on the road to Mopti. Regarding navigation, the contestants can only rely on their compasses and maps, as GPS will only be brought in 1992. The bikers aren't the only ones to suffer in this first edition, as Fenouil, second in the overall standings, is forced to retire due to a busted engine. The infamous fourth special stage between Arlit and Agadez will be fatal for a quarter of the racers, who will get lost in the Aïe region. The toughness of this race was chosen for a reason. I mean, in the Rue de Rome, when the sailors are caught in some heavy waves, they don't go complaining to the organisers. The motley peloton and their vehicles are just not ready for such a rough itinerary. Like the Moreau brothers' Renault 4, a lot of the cars involved are civilian models, barely enhanced. Yet a couple of prototypes managed to steal the limelight, such as the Renault KZ11 CV or Beau, Dunac and Chappelle's Pinzgauer six-wheeler truck. In the end, 74 vehicles made it to Dakar on the shores of Lake Rose. But at that point, the standings don't mean a thing. What counts is a sporting exploit, the discovery of new countries, and the experience gained from such an adventure. For the record, 22-year-old Cyril Neveu will claim the win in this first edition, on board his Yamaha 500 XT.